Are you a copywriter or are you a content writer? Do you know the difference? Do you even think there's a difference? Chances are you probably said no, because the way the internet uses these two terms, people would think that there isn't a difference. Most websites, businesses, and job boards tend to use these terms, content writing and copywriting, interchangeably, but the fact of the matter is that couldn't be further from the truth. These are actually two very distinct forms of writing that you need to get familiar with, whether you're going to come into the writing business yourself or if you're writing for your own business. Both are necessary, but both are very different. So let's get started breaking these two down so you can tell them apart when you see them. So content writing is typically longer form writing, and it's, in a very literal sense, it's writing content. This is usually blog content or some type of web copy. Generally, the way to distinguish is that these aren't really directly tied to sales. So again, it might be a blog article, and there are different blog articles you can write throughout the sales funnel, but typically these pieces are just informational, longer format, and a lot of the times they're used in a website's blog to get keyword landscape basically for Google. So a lot of the content that's written by content writers is keyword rich. It includes linking strategies and things like that to help boost organic search results. So again, to recap, it's tied to SEO, it's a little longer form, and it's not something that's going to be directly tied to a company's sales or revenue. Copywriting, on the other hand, is more emotional, more psychological. It can be a little bit longer form, but it won't reach the length that a typical blog would. But most of the time, it's shorter form. These are emails, sales pages, landing pages, press releases, case studies, things like that that are a little bit shorter form, but they are going to directly work to bring in sales and bring in revenue, which brings us to the psychological component. These pieces need to be persuasive and play on the emotional and psychological triggers of a business's customer audience. So it's not as straightforward as content writing, and a lot more research would go into copywriting because you really need to get familiar with your target audience's demographic and psychographic information, and we can talk about that in a later video, but you want to really take the time to research who they are, what drives them, and how you can write in a way to make them make that final decision. And when I say final decision, I mean either purchasing your product or booking an appointment to go over your service or sign up for your service, maybe sign up for a newsletter, whatever that action is that you want them to perform for your business, or if you're a professional writer, you need them to perform for your client. So to recap, copywriting, it's mostly shorter form, can be a little bit longer form, but it won't reach the length that content writing would reach. It's more persuasive, it's more psychological and emotional, and the ultimate goal is to persuade. So you're persuading the audience to take an action. So in contrast, again, content writing is a little bit longer form, a little bit more informative, and it's not a direct sales approach. You may have calls to action in content writing, but it's not going to be as direct of an ask as copywriting would be. So hope you guys found that helpful. I hope you take this information and use it in your own business. And if you're in the writing industry, just keep these two different types of writing in mind when you're searching for either full-time roles or contract roles with different companies. A lot of times I've been noticing in my time on the internet recently that even the businesses that are hiring for these positions don't know. And they may list a role as a copywriter, but when you read the description, it's actually a lot more like content writing. So again, I hope all this helps. Thank you for stopping by. If you did find it helpful, give me a like, give me a subscribe, hit the notification button so you can get notified when I produce more content like this to help you with your writing game. And if you want to hear anything in particular or you have a question on your mind, leave it in a comment below and I'll either answer or maybe we can turn that into a video. So Have a great day. Again, thanks for stopping by.